Thank you very much, and welcome today. My name is Udo Rieder, and I'm privileged to be the president and the CEO of Erickson Air Crane. Very happy to be here today, and I really want to thank the Oregon Business Plan Summit for inviting me to share a little bit about our Erickson's perspective on business with you all. I love to talk about the company, and what I really like about today is I don't get to talk about the company to fellow Oregonians so often. In fact, I'm all over the country and all over the world. We're one of those trade companies, and I don't think we have any business in Oregon. I think it all goes out, but it's all built here, and so I'm going to talk more about that. So since a picture is worth 1,000 words, why don't we start with just a very quick video. Chris, I'm going to make you eat those words about business being boring. All right? So again, thank you for being here. First of all, this company, great company, has deep Oregon roots, Southern Oregon roots. I'm going to tell you a little bit more about that. And throughout the course of the next 12 minutes, I'll also tell you about how we grew to become a global enterprise and one of the most competitive helicopter manufacturers and operators out there. So it all started back in the early 70s in Southern Oregon, as I mentioned earlier, where logging pioneer Jack Erickson, by the way, still lives here in Portland or in the surrounding area today, decided he was going to buy 3 of these big air cranes. These are super heavy lifters. Just to give you an idea, it's 25,000 pounds that they lift, but to give you an idea, that's like 6, 7, 8 cars, depending on the size. There's nothing else like it. He wanted to innovate his logging operation, and he wanted to dramatically improve productivity with these air cranes. Well, it worked. He was successful, and Erickson Air Crane was founded in the early 70s. So from that modest beginning, the men and women of Erickson have been on this phenomenal, exciting journey. It's a journey that is focused on innovation. I'm going to tell you a lot about what innovation does in our business here today. And it's also focused on talent that's creating that innovation. And those are the 2 themes throughout the course of the next few minutes here that I'll focus on, and also ask the state of Oregon and Portland to help us do an even better job than we've done here in the past. So next, we started with this concept of logging and the productivity surrounding that, and we did a great job. In fact, one of these helicopters that you see here does the job of 50 logging tractors in any given day, 50 logging tractors. And, by the way, requires, obviously, no roads. It helps out quite a bit. But we didn't just stop there. We started there, and we quickly moved to what's called sustainable harvesting. And you heard earlier today that Eric mentioned this concept of sustainable harvesting. Well, Erickson now has taken that to the next level. And as we've got shown here, and you may be thinking, okay, great. Here's the before picture. Let's see the after picture. This is the after picture. This is a mountain in the middle of Malaysia, and it just had completed heli harvesting before this, this photograph was taken. Obviously, very good results, and this is what we need to see more of. So that environmentally friendly way of doing business didn't just stop there. Quickly, other industries noticed what we could do with an air crane and what we could do in terms of productivity, but also the environmental part of it. These are companies that are focused on large infrastructure construction jobs that typically do damage to the land, and we have options for them. And over the period of years here, we've been able to apply those options and apply that through our engineering and design changes, apply techniques that span multiple industries. In this case, San Diego Gas and Electric hired Erickson to build a power utility line that connects sustainable energy from the desert in Southern California to the city of San Diego, 120 miles. This is all land that couldn't be disrupted, so everything had to be brought in and constructed via helicopter. The project was extremely successful. It required no ground personnel, first of all, so there's a safety factor, and once again, as you can see here, required no roads. Innovation was a big part of this. We have the only helicopter in the world that actually has an aft-facing pilot seat. In fact, it's difficult to find pilots that'll fly these. It's more like the joystick that you find in a video game. So these guys in the back seat are getting younger and younger as a result. The 3-year program was extremely successful, and it's a critical part of California's focus and emphasis on renewable energies. They have some pretty good goals there. And as you can see in the picture here, the then Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger came out to congratulate our team, and of course he had to end it in just the right way, so he pointed up to the helicopter and explained that, yeah, she's not a girly helicopter. I was born in Germany. I was just waiting to use that accent. But innovation didn't stop there. We continued. In fact, we moved into firefighting. Our engineers and our technicians designed a new tank and a snorkel system that you see pictured here. Where you see the 738 or the 739, that's a tank. It's a 2,600-gallon water tank that is used to fight fires. And it's very unique, and it was invented internally. This aircraft can hover over a body of water, and I want to emphasize this can be a very small body of water. It doesn't need to be a lake, doesn't need to be a river. In fact, doesn't even need to be a pond. And in some cases, it's been a swimming pool. If it's 18 inches deep, we can hover over that kind of body of water, and we can fill that 2,600-gallon tank in 45 seconds. It's become leading edge. In fact, so much so that the air crane now has become the aircraft firefighting tool of choice for many countries, starting with the U.S. Forest Service, but also spanning to LA City, LA County, City of San Diego, but not only here in the U.S., around the globe. Australia, we have 6 aircraft right now in Australia flying and fighting those fires down there. But we also span into Greece and into Italy. And I'm really pleased to announce that as of this morning, literally 2-3 hours ago, the city of Istanbul, Turkey, has elected to hire us as well to do this same kind of firefighting. So they've seen the light as well. So we've also become not only the heavy lifter of precision, but also the heavy lifter of choice when extreme reliability is needed. So just a few months back, the Sierra Nevada company that builds the Dream Chaser that you see pictured here, which, by the way, is the next generation space shuttle, called, and they gave me some input as to what needed to happen here. And one of the things that they emphasized is, Udo, you can't drop it. We only have one. Also, when endangered rhinos needed to be pulled from the jungles of Malaysia into a sanctuary, into a safety haven, they called us. And by the way, you want to talk about some pressure, that pressure of one mistake potentially turning that endangered rhino into an extinct rhino is incredible for our crews. When the Statue of Freedom on the nation's capital needed to be refurbished, they also called us, and we were pleased to do that job, and worked well, by the way. We built so many of these innovations into this helicopter that it's become known as the Flying Swiss Army Knife. So you may be wondering, yeah, okay, what's all this got to do with manufacturing? This is our plant in Southern Oregon. Every helicopter that you've seen today is built in Southern Oregon by our professionals there. We continue to do that today, by the way, as well. They're built there and they're maintained there. So we made some great progress, I'm pleased to say, and a little bit about now from where we've come to where we are. A number of aircraft that we had in the early 70s was 3, as I've mentioned. Today we have over 90 aircraft flying all around the globe. Number of people that we had in the early 70s, less than 100. Today we've got 1,200, again, all around the globe. Number of countries we operated in was 1, obviously, back then. Today we're in over 17 countries. And then finally, revenue was less than $1 million back then. Today we're approaching $400 million, a great growing Oregon company. So next I want to talk just a second here about our IPO. We made good progress there. We crossed the finish line, and last year, in fact, we were the first company in Oregon in 14 years to complete a successful IPO. Pleased about that as well. Now, I'm going to first emphasize here, boy, this is not all rosy and not all easy. We expected to do this quite some time prior to this point, and we weren't able to do it. We finally crossed the finish line. It was a lot lower than we expected. And then, oh, by the way, a few months after doing it, it dropped. Believe it or not, it dropped. And so we had plenty of challenges before us, but perseverance and determination always pays off. So today, we're about 140% appreciation on our stock, and pleased to where that's gone. So I'll rush things here just a little bit. I'm seeing the hook coming up here aggressively. I want to just thank the state of Oregon for how they've already helped us, the Strategic Reserve Fund, the Oregon R&D tax credit, and also sponsoring the Heavy Lift Consortium. All very helpful for us, and by the way, also the city of Oregon. So all of this happens through what I mentioned earlier. It happens through people, and it happens through innovation. So for us, our progress takes lots of people, and it takes a while to get those kind of people. These are high wage earners. These are people that make lots of money and pay lots of taxes. So I know all the politicians in the room are very interested in that. We prefer to get these people in Oregon, and that's become more and more difficult. So this may look like the parking lot of Yosemite or possibly Crater Lake or the Grand Canyon, but unfortunately it's not. This is the parking lot of our headquarters on the south waterfront. We have been able to get people, but unfortunately not as many as we would like here in Oregon. And we're like any other company. We'd prefer to hire people, to recruit people from Oregon, from our own company, in fact, and develop those people to move into higher level jobs. So we've developed an apprenticeship program that has been very successful, and I think unless we have time, I'll have to just forego it. Yeah? She nodded yes. Okay, so we'll do the quick video here. It only takes about a minute, and then we'll close.
The Airframe and Power Plant Apprenticeship Program began 8 years ago when we started selling helicopters. Regionally, the apprenticeship program allows us to pull from the local talent rather than recruiting from outside areas. It also provides longevity for the personnel within the organization because they're dedicated to Erickson Air Crane. Compared to most maintenance personnel that are specialized, they can contribute to multiple shops within the organization. One of the benefits with talent management allows their mentorship to see them moving through the different areas, and then that gives them the extra incentive to broaden their skills as well. The duration of the program is 30 months, but it's spread over a 3-year period. Summers are off, which allows them to take college courses or work within the field maintenance operations. One local gentleman was working for an organization that was closing its doors due to the economy. We picked him up and he completed the program and now is going on to advance his skills into the avionics branch of aircraft maintenance. Once they complete the apprenticeship program, they have the opportunity to travel the world, whether it's on an AOG team from Central Point facility or it's assigned to a crew on an aircraft. It's fun to see them come back, to know that they just graduated high school 3 years prior and now they're traveling the world, benefiting themselves and our organization.
Those are all rural Oregonians, by the way. So I can see that there's a lot of mutual benefits for being part of this organization and participating, and I'm excited about that. One thing about a company's evolution, I've been here about 6 years now, and from this smaller company to where we are today, needs change, and we need to be constantly developing our people. So the message I would leave here today is there are 3 things that we should all collectively focus on, and I look forward to working with all of you and working with the state and the city of Portland to make these things happen. Number 1, we need to get more of our people from Oregon, and we need to get more of our people developed in Oregon, get those people ready for advanced jobs in Oregon so that we can promote from within the company, but certainly from within Oregon and not have to leave. Secondly, or thirdly, finally, is innovation. And that is, you can see the kind of innovation that we've done. It's worked well, it's costly, but I can see there being a strong potential for connecting with our local universities and with our local schools to make more of that happen. Thanks so much for your time. I appreciate it. Good day, everybody.